Hey guys, this is Johnny MD, and I don't know if you guys realize, but I am a minimalist. I didn't even know this term. I started living this way almost 8 years ago when I sold all my stuff and started traveling. But it doesn't seem like it. But if you look at my other videos, you see photos on my Instagram, it looks like I own a lot of stuff and it looks like I live a pretty good life. I'm in my apartment here and it's beautiful. I mean, this is something that you would see in Manhattan for 5 or 7 grand a month, and I don't pay that much and I don't own any of this stuff. So let me give you guys a tour of where I'm staying and what my life actually looks like and why I think having less stuff gives you more fulfillment and more money in your bank account. And any of you guys can do this, and I highly recommend this type of lifestyle. Let's take a look. So first of all, from the floors to the paintings to this giant TV, I don't own any of this stuff. This is an Airbnb, and I've been living out of apartments, Airbnbs, hotels, hostels, you name it, for the last 8 years. And what does that mean? That means I have never, ever bought a flat screen TV. This TV is brand new. I don't even know how much it cost, but I remember when they first came out, they were like 8 grand. And I would have been tempted to buy one if I lived in the US, if I lived at a permanent base. But I didn't, so I never bought one. Now that they're maybe 2 grand or even $1,000, I've never had to buy one. And that means that in the last 8 years, because most people will trade them out every, let's say 2 or 3, 4 years, I've saved a ton of money and I've always had brand new TVs and I've never had to buy one. So this is my bedroom and it is super comfortable here. I have this giant closet, but guess what? These are all completely empty because everything I own fits in these 2 bags. So this is a 65-liter duffel bag, and this is my small day carry backpack. And as you can see, this is everything I own. I literally own nothing else. And I'll give you a breakdown of what's inside. These are all shirts, so dress shirts, t-shirts, things like that. There are socks and underwear. This is shorts, jeans, and pants. These are all my jackets, so from things like raincoats, winter jackets, as well as summer jackets. And I use this compression bag to keep it nice and small, almost like a little sleeping bag. This is all my random cables and gear. And here are my toiletries, like toothbrush, toothpaste, all that stuff. I have a problem having extra stuff, so I have this bag with all my other toiletries that I don't use very often. And I try to get this smaller and smaller every day. Here's some extra random cables and things like that I'm trying to get rid of as well. But I have, probably the heaviest item I have is this mixer and 2 microphones because I have the podcast. And because I love scuba diving so much, I carry this dive mask around. But the things in here are you don't actually need any of this stuff. This is technically all you need, and this is what I'm trying to get down to, just to lighten my load a bit. And in my backpack, I have my normal kind of daily life stuff, like my laptop, which is actually in the kitchen, right over here. So I love cooking. I love having a nice big kitchen. I used to buy all these things like espresso makers and rice cookers and all these things that would add up and complicate my life. Now, whenever I feel like it, I can just rent a nice and beautiful place like this, set up my laptop, grab a cup of coffee, and just get to work. All right, so you might be thinking or might be saying, all right, well, this is great for you, Johnny, but I can't do this. I can't afford to live in Airbnb. I have to work remotely. I mean, I have to work at an office. I have the responsibilities. I have kids, all these things. Well, let me show you is the reason why I decided to make this video. So this is the reason why I decided to make this video. The video is called Less Stuff, Happier Life. And he just shows his cool apartment in New York. And I watched this video actually years ago thinking, oh, this is awesome. If I lived in New York, I would get a place like this. You can transform your place into, a bigger space. It's minimalistic, it's awesome, it's just enough stuff. But what really got me to decide to make this video is when I read the comments, people would say, yeah, this is great if you have cash. All this trendy shit there costs more than my college education. Oh, it's great if you're single, but it doesn't work if you have, wife and 2 kids. Good for someone who doesn't cook, I don't see a kitchen. This isn't minimalism. And
like, oh, he doesn't talk about how he actually makes money. All these things, they're
all excuses. Some people might have a valid reason, but at the end of the day, these are all excuses. And I'm gonna break down exactly why this life is possible and that these are excuses. All right, let's go by one, okay? Yeah, it's all good if you have the cash. Luckily, somebody actually replied to it saying, having less stuff literally requires less cash, not more. And it's one of those things where it's kind of almost hard to imagine, because it seems like it would be cheaper to live a normal life, as in, you buy a house, you have a normal job. But I can see why they think this life costs more. I mean, sure, building out that apartment in this kind of fancy way costs a lot of money, but what is the difference is he's not living in this giant house. He's living in a 50 square meter house, which literally costs less money. So he might be spending more on designing and furnishing it, but he just has less stuff, so it ends up costing you less money. All right, all that trendy shit there costs more than my college tuition. That might be true, but first, by him designing that, hopefully it'll become cheaper to build out spaces like that. So hopefully IKEA will come out with some kind of folding cabinet that turns into a Murphy bed and things like that. And designers and architects will start building these things. And you don't need to have a transformer room. You can just have bookshelves that separate rooms. You can put them on wheels and things like that. So it doesn't cost more money to have cool stuff. He has a great iMac. He has all this, these great things. But guess what? He doesn't have all this other stuff that is what really adds up. What I like about my life is everything I own is awesome. All right. I love my laptop. I love my watch. I love my iPhone I'm on here. I love my luggage. And all these things individually might cost more than what people buy. You guys might have a cheaper computer. You might have a cheaper watch. You might have cheaper luggage. But because I have so few items, everything that I own can be the best, or the best value, the most, even if it's not the cheapest. And I end up spending way less money than the average person on average, because I just have less stuff. He talks about this being great for being single, but it's different if you have a wife and 2 kids. First off, I hate to say this, but that was a choice for people to have, to get married and have kids. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, but this is a choice that people, they intentionally, or they choose. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well, you chose that. Now you got to figure out how to make that work within your budget. Too many people are getting married and spending like $15,000 or $30,000 on a wedding when they have no money in the bank. And this can be a whole different topic, so I don't want to get on this. But same thing as having kids. It costs money to have kids, so you can't even get your own life in order. Maybe you should think about holding off and waiting until you actually have kids. And don't have that be an excuse, because once you're in this position, figure out, how can I live a minimalistic lifestyle with kids? And you can do it. There are plenty of people who do it with a family. So it is not a reason, this is another excuse. This is good for someone who doesn't cook. I don't see a kitchen. Guess what? He has a kitchen. I have a kitchen. You just don't see it. It's one of those things where people are just so quick to jump on a reason why they can't do it. Watch any of the other videos that are longer. This is a 2-minute CNN video where it doesn't give a whole tour of his apartment, but he has a kitchen. And the thing is, I lived in places that didn't have kitchen, and I put up a little burner, and I would cook anyways. I lived in Thailand. On my balcony, I literally set up a $3 burner, or maybe it's $10 burner, and you can cook. These are all excuses on why you can't do something. Cooking in a nice big kitchen is a luxury, not a necessity. I love cooking. I love having a nice fancy kitchen like this. I love nice coffee that I'm drinking right now I'm talking to you. But guess what? You do not need this. This expensive one-touch, espresso machine that has a built-in grinder, has all this stuff, these fancy cups. You don't need this stuff. I travel with an AeroPress, which you can buy for like $30, and you can carry it with you wherever you go. You don't need a fancy coffee maker. You don't need any of this stuff, All right, my AeroPress is literally in here. If you haven't seen one, I'll show it to you right now.
This little thing for 30 bucks makes the same or better coffee than that. And if you don't believe me, take a look. It unfolds into these pieces. You have a metal disc filter, so I don't have to deal with buying paper filters all the time. It goes on right here. It screws on to here. You can put your coffee grounds in here. And then when you have it on here, it literally presses the air out of it into making a great cup of coffee. It does the same thing as this, costs you way less money. It's lightweight, you can travel with it, and I have been traveling with it. And that is just another example of the things that you do not need to have in your life to be happy. Having less stuff has made me so much happier, so much more free. And if you want to talk about how to create an online business, the first step is to have the time and the resources to create an online business. So if you spend all your time, working overtime just to be able to pay off that car payment or buy that new piece of furniture or pay off your credit card bills, guess what? You're not gonna have the mental or financial resources to even create your business. So first step really is to have less stuff. If you guys are interested in more personal finance videos like this, leave a comment below, let me know, because I really like talking about this stuff. I truly, truly believe that if it wasn't for me learning all these financial lessons, early in life and not getting kind of inundated in debt, having too much stuff holding me down, not having the time or the energy or the money to be able to create my own life, I wouldn't be able to live a life like this today. I wouldn't be able to travel as much as I do. I wouldn't be able to just, enjoy the crap out of life with literally zero responsibilities. And if you want to talk more about the online business part of it, there's a ton of videos on there already, but feel free to ask any questions. And subscribe to this channel for more. Let me know what you want to know about. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to share. I want everyone to be able to live a life just like this.